we are not able to understand people from different parts of the world. Are like, okay, now I get it.
Just tell me when
we
start the Facebook Live at 10?
We can start. We can start now. It's good.
Sure,
it's ready.
Sure.
It's 9:59. Yeah, let's do that. Welcome, Sandra from District 81. Can I also say, instead of just putting district, put also the city name, because it's hard to remember out of 125 districts which city is from which place. We don't know all of them. It'll be nice. Put in the chat box, which city are you from? So at least we know that where are you from.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Our event will start in 1 minute. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your respective time zone. Senior District Officers, Organizing Chair Timothy Tan, First Session Organizing Chair Joanne Lim, Plenary Speaker Jon Tan, fellow Toastmasters and honorable guests. Welcome to District 102, first ever Public Relations Virtual Festival. My name is Max, and I will be the Sergeant at Arms for this branding session. Before we proceed, please allow me to read out the house rule for your kind attention. First, please stay muted when you are not speaking. Second, the Zoom masters reserve the right to mute attendees when it's needed. Third, please keep your electronic devices on silent mode. Fourth, avoid eating in front of the webcam if your video is on. Last, you are encouraged to switch on your video to engage and interact with the speaker. Next, I would like to read the video release consent for your reference. By attending this remote PR festival, part of District 102 online event, you agree to the privacy policy of Toastmasters International as well as the unassociated remote hosting service. Some of your personal information, such as name, image, and any shared messages may be shared with other meeting participants and will be recorded by Toastmasters International, who may use the recording in the future as it sees fit. Your remote attendance hereby discharge Toastmasters International from all claims, demands, rights, promises, damages, and liabilities arising out of or in connection with the use or distribution of said video recordings, including but not limited to any claims for invasion of privacy, appropriation of likeness, or defamation. Thank you for your attention and compliance. Right now, I would like to have your thunderous applause to welcome District 102 Director, Distinguished Toastmasters, Srinivas came to deliver his district address. Over to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Max. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters. It's good to see people. Yes, about 5 minutes ago, we were 55 people. Today, we are more than 100 people early morning, about 10 o'clock in Malaysia, joining us from different parts of the world. And as we were speaking, we met people who are joining us from the past, which means it's still yesterday there. And there are people who are a few hours ahead of us. Welcome all of you. So when we look at today's event, what are we looking at? We are looking at the time where we have realized that it's a modern world, it's a digital age, and we want to connect with people digitally. And as we look into it. That's what we are going to learn in next 2 days. And that's what I appreciate for District PR team led by Rashmi Raghav and her team of different people organizing this event, coming together with Jack and Timothy and all of you to make this event possible, because we see the importance of connection. Now, I remember a time when I was growing up and my phone was Nokia, which some of you remember, and some of you have no clue. And its tagline was connecting people. Now, the phone didn't really connect with future. But as we look into today's world, we know that the things we do in social media, it connects us not only with future, it connects us with who we are in the past. It connects us with one another, and it has its advantages if we know how to use it effectively. So this morning, I would like to welcome all of you to a session of learning, to a day of excitement and engagement, and to full 2 days, we're going to learn, unlearn, relearn so many things and look from a different perspective. So once again, good morning. Welcome to District 102. Let's have a great time of learning, because leaders never stop learning. Back to you.
Thank you to our District Director, Srinivas. At this moment, may I have your hands to welcome our District 102 Public Relations Manager, Presentation Mastery Level 5, Rashmi Raghav, to give us an opening speech.
Thank you so much. A warm welcome to everyone. A very good morning from Malaysia. 2 months ago, when we are conducting the club officers training in our district, that time, me and my team was ready to have the branding sessions for our club BPPRs. Then this amazing team, we did so many brainstorming sessions and came to the conclusion that why only for VPPRs? Why don't we add the value to each and every Toastmaster member of our district? And ladies and gentlemen, this is how we came with this PR festival of District 102. For us, every member is a brand ambassador. This is the time when I started my club district public relation manager term with 16 members in my team, and we were determined to make and add value to each and every member of our district. That was the time we thought to utilize this virtual platform, connected with global international trainers, and bring the best trainers to teach us about different virtual trainings and Canva and PowerPoint and every single aspect of public relation. So this event is not only for the club VPRs. This event is not only for the Toastmasters. This event is for every person with lots of learning opportunities. And today we are having 4 amazing sessions starting from branding, then Canva, then Zoom, and then how the Toastmaster can change and transform your life. So stay tuned. My team is bringing a best lineup of speakers for you all to add the best learning experience in your life. Stay connected, learn from the best. Thank you so much. Over to you, SAA Maxlow.
Thank you to our District Public Relations Manager, Rashmi. Now, it's my pleasure again to invite our organizing chair, Innovative Planning Level 4, Timothy Tan, to deliver his welcoming speech. Over to you.
Thank you, Sergeant. I'm Max. Good morning, everyone, especially to Senior District Officer, esteemed speaker, fellow Toastmasters, and their guests. I personally love connecting to people, and this PR festival has given me a chances to bring all the great speakers together to share the skills. First session, we have distinguished Toastmaster Jon Tan, who will be sharing the practice and embracing the interlinking of brand identity, brand management, and brand communication, and to bring our communication to a higher level. It is very important for us to understand the purpose of communication, and that is when we have distinguished Toastmaster Jared Peter, who will be sharing how are we going to identify the elements and the specific triggers to make a communication engaging. And communication does not just limit to verbal or written form. It can be also in a graphic form, where we have graphic design session with Canva with distinguished Toastmaster Kejetan, graphic design session with PowerPoint with leadership development level 3, Toastmaster Yasir Muhammad. And not only that, we are living in a very modern world where social media are very close to us. We have sessions on Facebook, Twix, and Tricks by distinguished Toastmaster Robert Ram. What we should be doing on LinkedIn, Toastmaster Bhavani, digital marketing with innovative planning level 2 GIS. And not to forget, we have our district director as well, distinguished Toastmaster Srinivas, who will be sharing on how are we going to leading in the digital age. And if you think that our session ends here, no, we are having our Toastmaster International Region 13 advisor, distinguished Toastmaster Sudesh, sharing us on how Toastmaster have personally transformed him. So stay tuned for all the fun-filled activities and excitement. I myself feel that I'm very excited to start the event, and without further ado, I would like to call upon the first session OC, the first session organizing chair, leadership development level 1, Joanne Lim. Joanne Lim, over to you.
Thank you so much, Organizing Chair Timothy, Senior District Officers, fellow Toastmasters, and distinguished guests. Good day! Welcome to the first session of District 102 PR Festival Branding. Thank you each and every one of you for being here with us today from all over the world. Some of you are from Philippines, in Malaysia, some of you in the US, and wherever you are, I believe some of you are in the past and some of you are from the future. Your gracious presence meant a lot to us. Thank you once again for joining us this beautiful day. Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever wondered? Now, I have my product. I have my business. But how do I make a memorable impression for the public? How do I make my brand well known to everyone? To establish my own very brand, what tips do I have? Good branding is strategic. Good branding is missionary. Good branding is essential for brand success. If you would like to develop a unique brand identity, you are in the right room. Today, it's our pleasure to have invited our esteemed speaker, author, speaker, coach, distinguished Toastmaster Jon Tan, to blow and expand your mind. With this, I shall pass the control to our gorgeous Toastmaster of the day, Engaging Humor Level 5, Eunice Low. Over to you, Eunice.
Thank you, Session Organizing Chair Leadership Development Level 1, Joe and Lim. Ladies and gentlemen, Senior District Officers, fellow Toastmasters and guests, wherever and whenever you are, welcome to the first session of PR Festival, Branding by Jon Tan. I'm Eunice Loh, and I'm honored to serve as your Toastmaster of the day or evening, depending on your respective time zone. The response that we received for this session has been overwhelming, and we are extremely grateful for it. Thank you all for your support. Before we move further, can I invite all of you to switch on your video and let's capture some beautiful moments for this event. And for that, please ready your bridal smile. Sergeant Arms Max, kindly assist us for the photo taking session. Thank you.
All right, on my count, I will take the first page. 1, 2, 3, smile.
Next, perhaps let's give a few seconds for everyone to turn on their camera. I see many beautiful faces coming on the screen.
Maybe they need to comb their hair.
So now it's the second page. On my count, 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, the next page, third page. On my count, 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, back to you, Toastmaster Eunice.
Thank you, Max. Next, for the benefit of everyone in attendance, the following is an overview of today's event. Please take note that we will have a 15 minutes question and answer session at the end of the session. Therefore, if you have any burning questions for our speaker, kindly type your questions in the Zoom chat box. Our dedicated question master will be selecting some of the questions that are relevant to today's event and present to our speaker during the Q&A session. So keep your questions coming. Please note that what comes next is copyright material. No recording of any kind is permitted. Now, I would like to invite our esteemed speaker for this session, distinguished Toastmaster Jon Tan. He is a full-fledged brand strategist who is the first international brand advisor to World Brands Foundation. Jon also is an international award-winning creative director and strategic copywriter at international communication groups. Today, Jon Tan will help us embrace and practice the interlinking 3C principle of clarity, conviction, and constancy for branding success and building your community via affinity. Please help me to welcome autumn speaker coach, distinguished Toastmaster Jon Tan. The stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Madam TMD. It is always very challenging to be the speaker for a convention or a session like that, which spreads over 2 days, because it will set the pace for the rest of the 2 days. So I would really appeal for your cooperation to make this session as exciting as possible, and together we can make it work, shall we? I want to check. By the way, can you hear my voice clearly? Just be sure.
Yes, loud and clear.
Fantastic. Some of you may have noticed Session 1, branding, how to personify the brand. There is an apparent change. How many of you spotted that? Yeah, put in the chat box, how many of you spotted that there's an apparent change? How to personify your brand. My dear friends, there is no change. I will tell you why afterwards. The original topic is synergy of holistic branding. Now this is a conceptual presentation. That is why I have 20 slides. Some people notice, am I going to talk for 20 hours? No, just 75 minutes plus 15 minutes Q&A. Why do I need slides? Because these are conceptual, but practicalized since the mid-90s. Thanks to a few practitioners and university professors. Modern day branding, by modern I mean today, for the last 20 years, operate on one very unusual principle. And I get very excited by that. That is, people observe I'm very passionate about corporate branding. But the truth is, I'm very passionate about what can I learn from corporate branding, which operates on one key principle? And if we know that, our perspective totally changed, and I'm sure you will love corporate branding, which TI practices. And the principle is this: since the mid-90s, some forward-looking brands have adopted this new evolution of branding. By the way, before the mid-90s, the branding term was not used, although we know we market brands, we promote brands, we sell brands. It used to be called advertising and promotions. So from the mid-90s, branding became the term to use and still be used today, and is in fact the future of branding. What is the key principle that excites me a lot, and I'm sure will excite you? Corporate branding from the mid-90s, as I said, thanks to these few geniuses, turns the corporate brand, which is inanimate. We know the meaning of inanimate. A corporate brand doesn't have a life of its own. Do we realize whatever corporate brand? The TI brand doesn't have a life of its own, right? So how do we give it life? The principle is this: we turn the corporate brand into a person. Repeat, we turn the corporate brand as a person. What can we do to spread the good news, our testimonials, and then impact the world with the TI brand? The second thing that happened to branding, as we still practice today, and the future of branding, is this: we turn the whole organization into a brand-driven organization. Never happened before, because branding, marketing, PR was the respective duties, so to speak, of the marketing department and the PR department and the communications department, mostly the marketing department. With this second principle, turning the corporate brand into a brand-driven organization, it means that all forms of communication coming out of TI organization or your organization is the duty, mandatory duty of every department in the organization. Marketing director is still in charge. PR will do the necessary, but it becomes the duty of all the key departments in the organization, starting from the CEO right all the way down to, with due respect, the janitor and upwards. It becomes a two-way communication, and that's the third principle. Branding is two ways, no longer top down, but top down, bottom up. Let's get started. Are you ready? If you're ready, type in a yes, because I get excited by seeing yes, because if I don't see enough yes, I don't have the energy to continue. Right? Please type yes if you're ready, and pay a lot of good attention, because this workshop, in all honesty, is a privilege. As corporate branding strategists or consultants, this is a privileged workshop we give only to those people or brands who have accepted consultancy. This is the buy-in workshop, right? So you have privilege to this. Let's get started. The original title was and still is Synergy of Holistic Branding. Now, it is my duty not to complexify the subject. It is my duty to help educate us on these branding terms. Synergy, as we all know, 1 + 1 = 3 or more. Now, a lot of corporate brands, and we are the people driving the TI brand all over the world, practice branding in a very shabby way. Excuse my directness of words, because real branding operates on 3 rings. We recently had the Olympics, which operates on 5 rings. But today, the very fundamental of branding and the future of branding operates on 3 rings. I shall talk about it afterwards. The need for clarity of brand identity, the need for conviction. Conviction means total belief in the brand identity, which includes the brand positioning and the brand map where the organization wants to go at our level, district, division, area, club. Where do you want to go? Mapping that direction. We need to practice holistic branding. Holistic means complete branding, because the third C is constancy. Constancy has 2 meanings. One is very consistent. 2 is very ever present, as present as you can. Now, if you are a Toastmaster, you will gain a lot from this, because we are supposed to, and with a lot of love, of course, you can personify the brand. How many of you would like to make your club, your area, your division, the district, the happening one? Meaning you attract people. People are satisfied. People become loyal. They become brand advocates, and spread the good news around, which was the dream of founder Rafsi Smedley. Do we all agree? How are we going to go about it? Let us welcome the concept of 3C. The first is clarity. I shall go into a bit of details afterwards. Second is conviction. Third is constancy. If we use these 3 interlink rings, interlink, because it has to be clear. We have to be clear about the brand identity, the positioning, and the mapping where we want to go with whatever the brand, in this case the TI brand. Internal branding happens first. Internal branding happens first, because if I don't fully believe in my brand identity, in my positioning, where do I want to go to take the brand? To great heights? To influence people? To impact people? How would I sound like in the real world? Which is the third C. I will not be consistent. So to achieve consistency, I have to have full conviction of my brand identity, and then I could achieve consistency. Make sense? Now from now onwards, we know the Zoom master said which we all unmuted, so that we do not have all sorts of sounds and not supposed to be there to sort of affect our session, right? But I have requested Zoom Master, I will have an interactive session. Zoom Master, you are allowed to unmute yourself, and I insist, because it has to be interactive. Because if I don't get clarity about whether these attendants are getting it, I cannot move on to the next principle, so to speak. Make sense? But unless you are contributing, please mute yourself. And if you need to contribute, which I totally invite you, unmute yourself and speak out loud. Shall we do that? Repeat. Mute yourself throughout the session, but I'll be asking interactive questions to make this session totally useful. Unmute yourself and speak out loud. We got it? I think we got it.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes, we got it.
Yeah, yes.
Right on the dot.
Yes.
Correct.
I'm counting 15 only. All right, let's get started. I promise you the first act of the day is I promise the district director and the PR manager we're going to get you off the rocks, because this is the real branding that we should be practicing, holistic branding, to bring our club, our area, our division district to the world out there, impact lives, transform lives. Let's go into a bit of detail, not that much. As I said, I don't intend to complexify the subject, only the bare essentials. Clarity with what? Clarity with your brand identity. I will go into details afterwards with cross-reference to the brand manual. How many of you are aware there is a brand manual from TI? How many of you are aware there is a 2021 version of the brand manual? All right. Now, in corporate workshops, when we ask questions, we don't want them to refer to manual or online, right? Because then they're not thinking. But today's session is different. I want you to refer to the brand manual. And if you're not sure, go online and look at the brand manual, because clarity of brand identity is extremely vital. We got it? Clarity also includes brand mapping. Now at TI HQ level, they mapped the brand years ago when they started branding, and as we know, every year they map the future, right? At our level, district also needs to map for the coming year. Does it make sense? More so, the term is for 1 year, right? So we need to analyze what worked the previous term, what didn't work the previous term, what could have worked better, how can we make it better. Make sense? And when we're clear about that, we internalize within our organization, at our level, within the district, within the division, within the area, within the club, to get conviction. This is what we mean by internal branding. I'm going to ask you a question now. Please unmute and answer. Who is your first customer?
Members.
Ourselves.
I heard members.
About ourselves. We ourselves are our first customer.
We ourselves. Fantastic. Fantastic. Because a lot of people have the misbelief that our first customer belongs to the outer world, so to speak. This is the inner world. They say the first customer is the customer lah. A bit of Malaysian English, you don't mind. We call Manglish. The customer is outside lah. No, the first customer is your inside people. Now, all of branding in the real world operates on one very strong two-word term, the brand experience, right? Now from today, I challenge you, if you've not been doing that, afterwards we're going some key points regarding the brand values, personality, and so forth. Every encounter, sometimes we use the word touch point, every encounter internally, example, district director talks to me as the brand strategist. If after the encounter I don't feel inspired, I don't feel the values and personality of the TI brand are manifested, it has been a failure in communication. Are we getting it? I repeat, every encounter. Now, I've lived life long enough, I've done corporate branding long enough, I visited organizations long enough to realize that, allow me to be very direct today, Many insiders don't give the right brand experience to each other. Reflect on it. Reflect on it. Is it true? We can have our points of view, our perspective, but do we have the grand intention of making it the right brand experience for whoever we are encountering? How many will agree? Unmute yourself.
Agree.
Agree. Fantastic. Huh? I believe that represents 175 people as well. Huh?
Agree.
Agree. Yeah.
Just
Agree.
Totally agree.
Hey, you are great learners today, huh? And from today onwards, whoever you encounter, insiders means your Toastmasters division,
In and out.
district division area club. Forgive me by spelling the segments all the time, because I need to speak directly. Make sure it's the right brand experience. Right? And when we feel so good with the TI brand, which we are personifying, do you think, unmute yourself, you will be convincingly communicating to the outside world, which we call external branding, with consistency? The key word.
Absolutely.
Would be.
That's correct.
Definitely.
Fantastic, yeah?
Naturally.
Fantastic. Of course, the answer has to be yes or yes, huh? Now, let's go into some detailing, not to complexify, but for us to understand. Clarity of your brand identity, brand mapping would coincide with strategy and the people if we fully are convicted. Who are the people, may I know? Unmute yourself.
All in the club. Everyone in the club.
Everyone in the club or area or division or district. Now this people does not refer to consumers, not yet. So clarity of brand identity, brand mapping. Now I'm very pleased with the 2021 brand manual because it has a brand platform spelled out right at the top. Afterwards we go some key areas. Please spend time. Please spend time. The brand platform occupies only 3 pages, pages 4 to 6. Please take note. Pages 4 to 6. Please internalize the brand platform 4 to 6. And I trust you could be a great personifier of the TI brand. Shall we do that? Do I get a yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Wow, 176 voices. Yeah, I am convinced. Right? Then we look at the third ring, constancy. This is going to be a mind blower for a lot of people, as I say, corporate branding operates on the same principle as personal branding. Today you have 2 plus points: learning about corporate branding, the correct way, the holistic branding way, which TI practices, and personal branding as well. And this will be on the second last slide. Just to preempt, what is constancy? Can I hear from you again? It has 2 meanings.
Consistency.
To follow it, yeah. To follow
Consistency.
Everywhere, all the time.
Oh my gosh, you are so fantastic. Yeah, the word is omnipresent. A huge benchmark to live up to. But today, the last few years and the future is as such that a lot of online is FOC, isn't it? Free of charge, am I not right?
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah. So far, I don't believe any clubs have gone into buying premium accounts.
No.
Because a lot of things are free now. Yeah? So you got to be everywhere. But just to preempt, constancy, just to preempt, because I'm going to end on slide 19 on a very powerful statement. Please take note. In my years of being a Toastmaster, I joined with one selfish intention, to learn to be a great speaker and move on. But voila, I stay on for 20 years. Fortunately, TI doesn't have a term limit. Alright. And I discovered this. Today is about moment of truth as well, ladies and gentlemen. I discovered this. Some club officers, I say some, but the number can be quite high, People don't like to invite them to their clubs. They're very present. They are very available. Why is that so? Please unmute yourself. What would be the reason?
They're too loud.
Beg your pardon?
They are too loud.
Too loud. That's about the behavior as well. Well, valid, your behavior as well. But the key reason that some people do not get invited or do not like to be invited, I'm going to be very real with you today. Shall I and can I?
Please.
Go ahead.
Sure. Want to learn, yeah.
There are some district officer, some division officer, some area officer, some club officers. People don't like them. People don't like them, yeah? So I'd like you to take down 3 short sentences, 3 short phrases. What they lack is credibility. Constancy means being credible, being visible. Yeah. What do you mean by credibility? I'm going to give you 3 phrases and could use for corporate branding. Make your club happen, make your area happen, make your division happen, make your district happen. You ready for the 3 phrases?
Yes.
Number 1, be outstanding. Number 2, be relevant. The loud person was not relevant to people, am I not right? Unless you meet a club with all loudspeakers, then you're very relevant. Just an example of relevant. Being relevant means attune to the people you deal with, attune to the times, the changing times, attune to the changing tastes, right? And the third, anybody knows what's the third? Number 1, be outstanding. In fact, uniquely outstanding. We like to use a term, what are your differentiators? Alright? We are supposed to manifest the TI brand, but at our club level, at our area level, at our division level, at our district level, we are allowed to add on another dimension without conflicting with the TI brand. Alright? So be uniquely outstanding. A better one-word reminder is differentiator. Why I am different and better. Why I am different and better. Not why I am better. Because you're better doing the same things as everyone, you don't stand out. You don't become uniquely outstanding. Make sense? The third one, please unmute yourself. What is the third one?
Predictable. Predictable.
Consistency.
Predictable.
Predictable, not yet.
Consistency.
Couldn't get you. Please repeat.
Be consistent.
Be consistent applies to relevant.
Credible.
Sorry?
Credible.
Credible refers to relevant. See, I promise you this first act is going to be a mind-blowing first act for these 2 days. Huh?
Authentic.
How about
Be
reliable?
organized. Be
Be
organized.
authentic.
Authentic.
Be
Reliable.
authentic.
Be passionate.
Be humorous.
Be humorous. Getting some.
Yourself?
Be authentic. You're getting somewhere there, but I don't hear the two
Real.
words. And when I tell you, you will say, "Oh my gosh, it's so simple."
Be yourself.
Huh?
agile.
Be original. Original.
Be yourself.
Be yourself.
Be yourself.
Be yourself. Quite getting close.
Integrity.
Integrity. Quite
Genuine. Be genuine.
genuine. Quite close.
Be agile.
Be agile. Someone mentioned. Be adaptive. Yeah.
Be true.
Be kind.
Be real.
Be real is about authentic, right? Ready for the third key phrase?
Yes. Holistic.
Yes.
Be sincere.
Be holistic.
Take these 3 phrases down. It will serve you for life. Not only for your club, not only for your area, not only for your division, not only for your district, right? The third key phrase is, let's go to the first key phrase. Be uniquely outstanding. Differentiated. Number 2, be relevant to the person you meet, target person you meet. Be relevant to change in technology. Be relevant to changing times. Be relevant to changing tastes. So forth, so forth. The third key phrase is be likable, from the word L-I-K-E. How come so simple? We never thought about it, leh. Another Manglish there, sorry.
How about lovable?
Lovable is even better, huh? But be careful, certain clubs would not allow that, huh? Stop plugging
Sorry, could you repeat the third one? Didn't hear you clearly.
Likeable.
Be likable.
Wow.
E-A-B-L L-I-K-E, from the word like, A-B-L-E. Now these three key phrases will serve you for life. Right? Will serve you for life. But they are interlinking. All 3 are important, because I could be really outstanding with differentiated, but I'm not relevant to the people or the times. Yeah. Or I could be outstanding and I can be relevant, but people don't like me, or another Manglish. Alright? Make sense? Make sense. Say yes, unmute.
Yes.
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 The real thing is happening.
Fantastic. You find this session so far paramountly useful to your life?
Yes.
Yes,
Not only as a
definitely.
Toastmaster, but as a person. That's why I told you at the start, I'm so excited about current day branding, because corporate branding is just exactly personal branding. It will serve you for life. I'm gonna ask a magic question now. Magic question now. The 3 key phrases. Be outstanding. That's positioning, by the way, and brand identity. Be relevant, which is brand management, how you manage yourself. And the third, you communicate with people internally and externally, right? If I were to ask you, make a painful decision, it's like, allow me to be coming to mainstream terms. If you're going to select 3 boyfriends or 3 girlfriends who practices the 3 key phrases, you're allowed to make one choice. What would be that choice? Is it be outstanding, or is it be relevant, or is it be likable? Let's go for a poll here, a voice poll. Who say you would choose being outstanding? Unmute yourself. You can vote once only, huh? Please voice out. None, huh? Amazing, right? You mean being outstanding, differentiator, not important?
Relevant.
Likeable.
Be likable. Please give our dear friend.
Relevant.
Relevant.
Be relevant.
I hear be relevant, right? All three, but I would like to choose only one girlfriend or one boyfriend. Which would that be?
I want my girlfriend to be relevant.
Likable.
Likeable. Likeable.
I'm hearing more of
Likable.
likable. Remember, I didn't say one of these three key phrases or principle will serve you well in life to impact people, to help inspire people, transform people. I said one of these, if you make an effort, loving effort of course, to be strong in that, be likable. I will go into some explanation now. If you're outstanding, but you're not relevant, can you learn to be relevant? Unmute yourself, please.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, I think all
Can.
all are learnable.
Whether you're mentorable, whether you're coachable, right?
Yeah.
You can, right?
Yeah.
If you're relevant, but you lack the skills, the expertise necessary, in our case, public speaking and leadership, can you learn?
Yes.
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 That's why we are in this community,
Definitely. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Please do a lot of speeches lah,
Join Toastmasters.
and take up some leadership role lah, All right. Now, if you're likable, yeah, I've been to some clubs. I'm not mocking them. They bring home baked cakes. They bring gifts. They bring present to everyone. You think that's very good?
Okay.
But you got to be knowing what you're doing lah, the clarity of being outstanding and so forth, right? And you also got to be relevant, isn't it? Correct? That's why I said the three interlinking, right? So the answer is this. Strive to be likable as your first priority. Then commit to be outstanding, and it's an ongoing effort to be relevant. I repeat, all three are important, but this is the way to go about it, right?
Have to be likable.
Number one, strive to be likable. All right? Strive to be likable. And the key way to be able to be likable is please raise your self-esteem. Raise your self-esteem, strive to be likable. And two, be committed to be differentiated, to be outstanding with your expertise and relevant knowledge. And three, constantly be relevant. Yeah, the world is changing every time. People change every time. Taste change every time. Make sense?
Yes.
How many think these three key phrases are very useful for life?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah? I heard only one voice.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, very, very.
Wow. Every time I share this secret, people just get their mind blown off. It's as simple as that. But repeat, strive to be likable, raise your self-esteem, work on being outstanding, and is everybody's challenge to be staying relevant. The world is changing all the time. People's tastes are changing all the time. From one term to another term, we have to look afresh. All right, make sense?
Right.
Fantastic. I love the attendance. You are learning very fast. You are cooperating with me, although I give you the choice of only yes and yes. I'm a very humorous person
Yes.
by nature. And is humor useful for communication?
Oh, yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
definitely.
Yes.
But must be relevant, to
Yes.
Yeah.
but must be likable. Do you like me?
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
I already love you.
Yes.
Very
Wow, I
good
love already.
question, you know. Because I raised my self-esteem, I dare to ask the question.
Yes.
Now let's move on. Thank you very much for being very absorbing today. As I said for the third time, I don't mean to complexify the subject. Some pointers, I will not talk about it. One or two pointers, I will really spend some time with you, because today is about getting all the usefulness of holistic branding, how to personify a brand. We start with the first circle, clarity with brand identity, brand mapping, because while we have the TI strategy and map at our level, where the division, where the district, division, area, club, we need to map where we are going. I said again because the term is 1 year, right? So the brand roadmap TI has, at our level we need to. What is brand audit? I briefly mentioned just now. Do we have a baby student as well?
So sweet.
Now,
could the brand audit be looking at the
now,
ways you...
the great things about branding terms, they are similar to the English dictionary or whichever language.
Compliance. Check for the compliance.
Yeah.
Would it be compliance? Brand audit means it's compliance to the brand.
Many of your responses correct, but in short, we need to take stock of what has happened. If it's corporate branding, the last 5 years, the last 3 years, the last 1 year, right? But since we are in Toastmasters, we are on one term, we must look at what happened last term. Where did we go right? Where did we go wrong? Plus, what are the consumers telling us? What are the members telling us? Do we listen? What are the public telling us? Do we listen? I'm sorry to be direct. A lot of clubs do not listen to their members. They do not listen to feedback from the public, right? So take stock, brand audit. Brand naming is not our prerogative. Brand naming happens at TIHQ. But on our side, I will touch base with brand architecture as well. Brand architecture means the hierarchy. Yeah? You heard of Unilever, I'm sure, right? I'm not publicizing the brand. They have some 40,000 products. That's why they are one of the biggest global brand in the world. Right? So we don't need to go into all the detail. Suffice to say, brand naming, brand architecture happens at TIHQ, which is why if you want to use the TI brand or even the Toastmasters name, we need to send to TIH quarter for approval. Are we familiar with that?
Yes.
Yes.
Have we been doing our own naming, Toastmaster this, Toastmaster that? We're not supposed to do that. We're not supposed to do that, right? But because TI brand, I venture to say they are not for profit. But if they are a profitable organization, they will sue you. All right. So let us be.
Sorry, could you expound when you say use? What do you mean? Because from where I'm at, maybe there's an English difference. Is it use on a logo? Is it used for a corporate event? Could you give an example what you mean by use to get permission from TI?
In whatever purposes, because the brand naming is Toastmasters International, What do we have? We have pathways. What else do we have?
Have a
Speech
clubs,
contest,
youth
club,
leadership.
speechcraft, YLP, speechcraft. Yes.
YLP. These are the evergreen
Table topic.
table topics. Yeah.
Right, but I'm asking, you're saying every time we're going to do one of those events, we are to submit a request to TI to be able to use the branding?
I
I want to
don't
be
mean
clear.
like for instance today, how to personify your brand. We don't need to. But when we name a product, if I were to turn today's session into a book,
Okay.
then I need HQ approval. Make sense?
Absolutely. Clearer now.
That's
Thanks.
correct.
Mistake for that clarification. No? Now the fifth one, brand identity creation. I need to spend time with you on this. And as I said just now, please have your brand manual ready. Do you have the soft copy with you?
Sorry, John, for the architecture, can you explain a little more?
On?
The brand architecture.
Brand architecture would mean of course TI does not send to us because it's not really necessary. They always ask for us to send for approval. Brand architecture, for instance, I use a corporate brand like Unilever. Unilever is a mother brand, or what we call a family brand. Alright? What happens under the family brand? Just like mind map hierarchy we do, what happens? What do they have? They have soap, they have oils, whatever, beauty, etc., etc., etc. Alright? And so forth and so forth. Under soap, there are many versions of soap. Dove, you heard of Dove?
Yes.
You heard of Zest?
No.
Makes you very feel fresh. It's lemon based, lime based. Have you heard of Lux?
Yes.
Lux was a brand that was stopped many years ago in the USA and it got exported to other countries and so forth and so forth. So it's a hierarchy or architecture of what your brand, we use the term extension and so forth, right? Are we getting some clarity through? We're not going to spend a lot of time on this. We have to spend time on this next one, which is brand identity creation and development. TI has created a brand, which only about the last number of years, first time ever. But at our level, what can we do? What must we do? There is a brand platform. As I said, refer to page 4 to 6. By the way, today I'm not talking about brand application, which is in the rest of the manual, meaning what colors, what font, what photography, and so forth is all part of the brand. Today I'm only talking about the brand platform, which allows us to personify the brand. Yeah? Brand platform is a universal term in branding. Never mind the fact that some strategists and consultants come up with their own names. Today is about fundamental. Now, brand platform has second pointer, essence, values. What's important to me? What is right and wrong? What would be our guiding principles? I'm referring to TI brand, of course. Personality. There is a certain personality that TI wants us to live, L-I-V, live the brand, personify the brand, so that when we do that, if we master just pages 4 and 6, and today is how to apply, we will all have a consistent personality, right? Makes sense? I'll go a bit of detail afterwards. Brand promise. What do we promise our members to the outside world? There's a brand tagline, right? What is a tagline?
Where leaders are made.
Leaders are made.
Where leaders are made.
Fantastic. And the brand tagline for our education is always linked to the brand promise. the brand promise is always linked to the brand positioning. Yeah, how can we be different and better than competitors? We are quite blessed. Without naming names, there's practically no competition for TI brand. I would really salute TI for doing a great job all these years. There are some, I won't mention them, we won't give them free publicity unless they pay us. Very far behind. Yeah. But that doesn't mean we do not live up to our brand promise. Make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Because no one stays number one forever. You got to keep on improving yourself, brand audit, checking on yourself. Make sense?
Yes.
And voice of tone. Voice and tone. Apologies, voice and tone. I'm mindful of the time. I do as best as I can finish within the session, but I really need this interaction. Please unmute yourself. What are the values of TI brand?
Integrity, respect, service, and excellence.
Service and excellence.
Yeah. IRSE, IRSE. Some of us may prefer RISE because it's an acronym, but realistically speaking is IRSE, integrity. Yeah. TI brand has not issued an essence, which is the main characteristic of a brand. If you take it away, the brand does not exist. Essence is the main characteristic of a brand, and if you take away this main characteristic, the brand does not exist. By the way, it applies to your personal brand as well, right? I believe integrity would be the essence, because essence comes from your values. What is the personality of the TI brand which we're supposed to manifest? Please unmute yourself.
Intellectual.
It's how we interact with everyone.
Constructive.
The answer is on page 5 of your brand manual. Please take note. Please take note. While adjustments should be made to reflect each culture, because we live in a global village of multifaceted culture in the 6 continents, the language, the medium, our TI brand personality is universal, meaning page 5, the personality as defined under TI branding is universal, meaning it's applicable all over the world. And the 3 strong elements are, please take it down, although I know you would refer to the brand manual later. The 3 strong elements of leadership, dedication, and empowerment. How do we define values in practical terms? The way I work and interact with people. The way I work and interact with people. All right, IRSE. It starts with internal branding, don't forget, then external. How do we define personality in practical terms? The image and the behavior I project to the world. The image and the behavior I project to the world. You got it? And so we need to project a personality, an image and behavior that hinges on these 3 strong elements of leadership, dedication, empowerment. I make it simple for understanding. TI does not stress which comes first. I make it simple. Dedicated leader who empowers. Now from today onwards, if you have not been practicing at your club level, at your area level, at your division level, at your district level, if you project this personality and the behavior, a dedicated leader who empowers, I repeat, a dedicated leader who empowers. I repeat, because it's so important. a dedicated leader who empowers. How would be the brand experience you give to another person? Wow, I find John is so dedicated as a leader, and every time I communicate with him, I feel empowered. Let me repeat. Now I use another name. Wow, Joanne, every time I encounter with him, is so dedicated and display traits of leadership and really empowering. That is the brand experience we are expected to project to the world. Make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Makes a lot of sense, huh? So operate on the values, IRSE, operates on this personality of a dedicated leader who empowers in every encounter with the people. In your touch point as well, when you do promotion online. And voice and tone. Voice and tone comes from, just to let you know some branding terminology, tone of voice. Tone of voice. Let's go to the next one before I touch on voice and tone, and then we can move on to the second C. Yeah? I spend more time on the first C because it's very important. Get our identity correct. Yeah. Brand identity also include brand ID expression, the style of your expression, communication, as well as promotion, online and offline. Brand tone of voice, as I say, brand tone of voice, which means what you can say and what you cannot say. What key messages should you be sending to your internal people and the external people?
And
What key messages you're not supposed to send out to internal and external people? Brand positioning, as I mentioned just now, what makes us different and better than others? As I said, thank God TI does not have any credible competition, but we watch out that we always fulfill the brand promise, right? What is the brand promise? Please unmute yourself. What is TI's brand promise?
again.
Empowering individuals through personal and professional
Professional development. Yes.
Fantastic. What's your name, please? Empowering.
Cheng.
Sorry?
Arlene Cheng,
Alin Teng. Where are you from?
Philippines.
Fantastic. Your club and area division district would love you. But the others, you'll be loved as well. If you refer to page 4. The promise is empowering individuals through personal and professional development. This is a promise we send to our insider and to outsider, the real world. And what does this brand promise entail? It entails all aspects of growth for members, meaning we don't only empower people with professional development, we also empower people with personal development. So far so good. Move on to the next, and then I need to backtrack to voice and tone, and that would sum up the first C. The brand purpose is quite understood here. TI is a not-for-profit, because if it's a corporate brand, commercialized brand, we shouldn't just do business for making money. Of course, that's the first reason. We should have a social purpose. And so it's very clear TI has a social purpose of why the brand promise: empower people for personal development and professional development. Let's backtrack. What would be the voice and tone? This is critically important. Is on page 5. Can you unmute yourself?
Confidence and compassion.
Confidence and compassion.
Confidence and compassion. What else?
Positive, upbeat,
Flexible,
and
friendly.
enthusiastic.
Positive, upbeat, enthusiastic. Huh? What else?
Exciting.
Friendly.
Exciting, possible, although it's not specified as a voice and tone.
Serious only when necessary.
Warm, clear, friendly, professional, succinct, respectful,
I am sure you're reading from the brand manual. That's perfectly all right, huh? Because you got the
internationally friendly.
exactly right, huh? Look at page 6 for the checklist. Brand manual. Huh? Now, in summary, page 5. We need to differentiate voice and tone. Voice is how we project ourselves and sort of verbalize ourselves. Tone, you know tone?
Yes.
I love you versus I love you. I love you lah, don't ask so many times. That is an example of tone, all right? The same words have different meaning, right? When you change the tone, right? Now voice, in summary, confidence and compassion. Clear, yet respectful. Don't for the sake of clarity disrespect people. And third, friendly but be professional. Don't be just likable, but be outstanding and relevant. Huh? Repeat, confidence and compassion. Clear yet respectful. Friendly yet professional. That's the voice. Huh? The tone. This is very important. Yeah? Because I've been to some clubs, I don't feel it. We must feel this tone, yeah? And the tone is threefold. Positive, upbeat. You know upbeat? You don't need to play the latest pop music to be upbeat, but at least it's not the end of the world. Some clubs you go, like, with due respect, it's like the end of the world. It is a happening world. It is a beautiful world. Huh? Positive, upbeat, and enthusiastic. Second, be serious when necessary. Yeah, life is not about just happy. Be serious. Necessary. And while you seek to fully express yourself, be open to exchange. Let us not practice my way or the highway. Let us practice fully express yourself, but open to exchange. Our tone, threefold, repeat. This is on page 5. Please make a commitment to yourself if we want to be dedicated leaders to empower, as in the personality. 1. Positive, upbeat, enthusiastic. Second, serious when necessary, but try not to be serious too much. Otherwise it takes away the fun of Toastmastery. And open to exchange. Right, we shall move on to the second C. Here I shall move quite quickly. I got 15 minutes to go, and that's enough because the brand identity is very crucial. Now, we must align the brand identity per the brand manual, pages 4 and 6 especially, and the rest of the manual, which talks about physical manifestation via your promotion, advertising, etc., including the way you dress as well. Yeah. To align to brand. First, management leadership style. Second, whatever operation system processes you keep at your club, area, division, district level should be aligned to the brand identity. Third, structure. We have the TIHQ, but I'm not certain. I stand to be corrected if I'm not getting it right. In Malaysia, we do not have a TIHQ. We operate at our own airboat, so to speak. And so we do not really have a structure per se, but because we do not have a TIH quarter at every country, the clubs that are with are your structure. Infrastructure is anything and everything outside of your club. You want an event prior to pandemic, and next year I believe we can. The events you do, whatever structure you build outside becomes your infrastructure. And four, humongously important, the people. Yeah, and that's why if we do it well or reasonably well, we would have a resulting brand culture. Make sense? On page 3 of the brand manual, it is stated clearly, welcome brand ambassadors. We are all supposed to be brand ambassadors for the TI brand. Make sense? However, not to rain on your parade, not everyone qualifies to be a brand ambassador. Yeah. The district plans to run a session on how to be a brand ambassador few months down the road. Interested to come by? We will give you the tips of how to be an internal brand ambassador, and then you can really make your club, your area, division and district shine beyond all measure. Then brand marketing, which includes all forms of brand communication. Remember earlier I said, today, since the 90s, brands that have taken up holistic branding like TI, it doesn't come under the aegis of the marketing department anymore. They're still in charge, but whatever department, top down, sideways, whatever forms of brand communication must reflect and manifest the brand identity. Of course, how you brand, how you plan the brand to be going for the coming term, brand planning, and then of course finally we need to set brand KPIs, key performance indicators. All right, this is subjective depending on your own intention, depending on where you want to take your club, area, division, district. Yes, so that you do brand tracking. Just to note, brand tracking is similar to brand audit. In the real corporate world, brand audit must happen once, minimum, every 5 years or 3 years. If yearly is better, right? Brand tracking is ongoing at your club level, at your area level, at your division level, at your district level. Are you tracking your promotions? Are you tracking the events you're doing? What works? What doesn't work? What are the gaps? And so forth and so forth. And when we know, we could regulate and be much the better, not only for ourselves as Toastmasters, but for potential Toastmasters in the whole world, so to speak. And we go on to the third C, constancy. Right? Constancy stands for, please unmute yourself.
Omnipresence.
Omnipresence plus
Being the same every time.
Credibility.
Consistency. The beautiful word of this constancy per the dictionary means that. Of course, there are other definitions. These two meanings. Be omnipresent, be credible. Credibility comes from consistency. Credibility comes from consistency. Not a flash in the pan. Now, the why. Why do we do brand communication? Backtrack. The first circle, the first link, brand identity, positioning, and strategy. The second link, be fully convinced about the brand identity, positioning, and the strategy. Internal branding happens. Then we communicate with the outside world. What is the grand intention that can drive us? The big why. As we know, start with the why. Not the how. Start with the big why. Let us internalize. The third link, brand communication, also known as brand image. I will delve slightly on that afterwards. What do you mean by brand image? The big why. Create, build, enhance your tribe. The current day term we use tribe. In simple term, your brand community. At the club level, at the area level, at the division level, at the district level. All right. I believe I could be biased here. This event we are running, District 102 PR Festival, has attracted a lot of attention all over the world. This is an example of what we want to do to build our brand community for District 102. Of course, the major grand intention is to impact not only Malaysians, but people from all over the world. Now, in not-for-profit organization, unless you're very big, we do not need to do at our level a brand CRM. First, you know who is your specific brand persona, who is the target person you're going after. It's very deep subject, but few key points to take note. One, what is or are the aspiration of your target person? Second, what is the outlook of the target person? Third, what values that your target person hold on to? What's important to the person? Fourth, what is the personality? If the personality matches close to the TI brand personality, voila, you got the right target audience. Or they could aspire to the personality and the values we stand for vis-a-vis public speaking and leadership. And the fifth one, you must determine the level of expectation. We have advanced clubs which should have people with higher expectation versus the typical normal club. Not to say the typical normal club don't shine, depending. When the advanced, you have higher level expectation. If you do, like in Malaysia, we have pro speakers, then the level expectation would be higher. Am I not right? Target your brand persona well. Second, brand integrity, which means whatever you promise, deliver. Right? Give you a secret. Be authentic. What you can do and what you can do. Raise your capability. We call self-empowerment. We call self-efficacy. Second, under promise and over deliver. Under promise and over deliver. Don't make a big promise of 10 points, for instance, and deliver at 7. It's better to set an under promise of 7 and deliver at 8. People don't like other people breaking promises. All right. And the third is be vulnerable. We do the best we can. Sometimes we make mistakes. Admit it and move on. People are forgiving if we behave authentically. And third, brand response. Brand response is how do you respond to your members? How do you respond to the public out there? And while we don't go into deep brand CRM, which also includes big data, at our level, club, area, division, district, when people come to our website, when people come to our Facebook page, it is expected that we give a 24-hour response. Do we know that? You may not have the answer yet, but you say we'll get back to you. So that's the minimum brand response we should practice. Because you and I are consumers. If you write to a corporate brand, not TI brand, whatever corporate brand, if they don't respond to you within 24 hours, do you get upset? How the world has changed. To be relevant is 24-hour response. How do we achieve this big why to increase our brand community? To build our brand reputation. But brand reputation can only happen with brand awareness. So we need brand awareness. If you're familiar with the marketing funnel, is from awareness. There are people interested. We use the brand consideration. And then they're finally going to make the decision. In our copywriting, we must address these 3 types of people. Not just awareness, not just considering the brand, not just they want to join Toastmasters. I find a lot of clubs, a lot of areas, division, district fail in that. Yeah, that's from my branding perspective. I could see this thing happening. Our first objective is to turn all our members to be satisfied. And you notice the arrows, many arrows. I wanted to put 50 arrows, but the slide is not broad enough to be lawyer. Lawyer doesn't mean they fight and die for you. Lawyer means they are so happy with the brand. Then we take it to another level, the dream of every club. The dream of any F&B organization, for example, will you advocate the TI brand to people without being paid? That's an advocate. Alright? The how. The how is move away from being functional and utilitarian, from the word utility. Yeah, we should now focus on building brand affinity, from the word affinity, closeness to people. And the quickest way to get close to people is via emotional bonding. Let us not do communication, advertising about public speaking, leadership per se. Those are functional. Let us do communication that, what if I don't pick up public speaking skills? What if I do not have the basic of leadership which TI can offer? Look into the pleasure points. Better than that, look into the pain point. Would you like to miss that promotion, or the last time you missed the promotion? Would you like to be speaking at international convention? I have coached people on a corporate basis to speak at international convention. Then they are a global company, and then they come looking for help. The pain point, that they must have great communication. And of course, we can have emotional bonding with people through the ideals, the values, the personality that TI brand already has intact, yeah, per the brand manual. And emotional branding. What is emotional branding? Let us not do functional branding. Functional branding is eons ago. It is like 50 years behind time. It is about desire. It is about human insight or consumer insight. What is the emotion you want to evoke with people to get them to adopt the TI community and be members, impact self, impact others? Alright, I shall move quickly now because I've got another 15 minutes for Q&A. The what, the which, and the where. Content strategy, content management, content creation, content distribution. I shall not talk about this because in later sessions we will help you in whatever way possible. The need for content strategy, the need to manage your content, the need to create content, and content distribution. Content distribution would mean, where do you want to talk to your customers or Toastmasters? Broad areas that you look into. Macro. Advertising is for awareness. If you want to bring in members, potential members, you need to do a sales promotion. Do hard-working copy. If you want to build your reputation, is what we're trying to do over here for the good intention of Toastmasters community and the public, of course, you do PR and publicity. If you want to get people to feel, to awaken the senses, you do events and experiences. Pre-pandemic, get them to the club, get them to the event, right? And then micro, direct marketing, one to small group, one to individual. Personal selling, the most powerful of all, one to one. How do we practice? Via email, for instance, via one to one. Get the person aside and really fulfill the person, because a lot of people do not like to be talked to in front of others. Now, quickly, the penultimate moment of truth. Brand image equals perception. I mentioned to you just now, I would like to explain the real meaning of brand image. Brand image is how people perceive your brand, TI brand. Brand image is how people perceive your club, your area, your division, and your district. So the dream equation, let us backtrack. What is the first C? Clarity or brand identity. Second C, conviction. Then external communication, brand image. Listen very carefully, please. We cannot change people's perception. We cannot control people's perception. I'm sure we know that, huh? But we can manage perception. We can manage brand image. How do we manage brand image? How do we manage brand perception? Have a two-way traffic of communication. Know what the members want. Know what the public wants. Then we can manage our brand. And we're going to end on this. Do you want the magic formula? Say yes.
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 Yes. We want formula.
Yes.
Yes.
200 yes and above, please.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you very much. The magic formula is this. I briefly mentioned touch base just now. Take this down. Not only serves to bring your club area, division, district up. Remember just now I give the instance, some people are not likely to be invited. Some people, I'll be crude about it because it's a fact of life I witnessed. They don't like the person visiting their club. Oh my gosh. The magic formula, your key success factor to get forward, bring your club, area, division, district well as your personal life, your personal career is this. You need credibility plus visibility. You need reputation plus presence. I will going to end on this note. Please take careful cognizance of what I say. We need to build up our reputation. You need to build up your reputation. You could be the most credible person. You could be the most reputable in your expertise, in your knowledge. But if you're not present, it will not do you any good at all. Yeah. If you're not networking at the right places, it will not do you good at all. Make sense?
Yes.
So let us apply this magic formula for self, for club, for area, for division, for district. Yeah. Strive for great reputation. Be present. There are two types of presence. There are people who are at an event or in a club and people don't like their presence. You get what I mean? They prefer them to be absent. Yeah. You are not one of those, I hope. And there are those who are present. It livens everybody up. Thank you, Joanne, for being present. All right. Make sense?
Yes.
Thank you very much for being very attentive. I pray you got it.
Yes.
Thank you.
A resounding applause, not for me, but for yourself.
Yes.
For everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for being a very attentive audience. We shall allow some Q&A with the time that we have. Nation, are you ready? Nation is a moderator for the Q&A. He has been observing the chat box. Nation, over to you.
I have a question.
Oh, you're fast. Nation?
So could you please explain brand essence?
Brand essence. Before that, Iona, what we practicing, as I explained just now, was we practiced the question from the chat box first, if you don't mind.
Right, Jon Tan, I'll be helping you out here to address some of the questions the
I'll
audience.
get back to you, Iona.
Right, my name is Nishan. I'm the question master, and I will be helping bring up any questions that you have brought up in this entire session. Now, for Jon Tan, your session was so hot that I actually had to switch on the aircon. I now hope that, since you've all cooled down and had a little bit of a minute to process whatever you've just said, we can answer these questions slowly. So do you want to work together?
Yeah, please.
Sure.
We don't have that much time, possibly a couple of questions.
Right. The first question we have is from Dennis. Dennis asks, for Constancy, should we promote Toastmasters International or our own club? From what I understand about this, it's a question of more whether we should promote the international brand, we do public speaking, or our club. Our club is more focused on these particular goals, or we have this amazing experience. What do you think?
Very good question. Each of us, clubs or whatever, come to existence thanks to the TI brand. Am I not right? We are in fact riding, R-I-D-I-N-G, like a horse, the TI brand. Yeah? But should we promote our club's ability? Yes. Because as I said just now, there are many levels of club. Without being judgmental here, promote what you're capable of. If you're if you're typical club, so-called normal level, not advanced, what makes you stand out? What can you offer? If you're advanced club, what makes you different? You can offer, yeah. And of course, if you're a professional based club, we have clubs like that, all over the world. They're already speakers. Some of them are already champions. They still attend Toastmasters Club. Promote on that basis. All right.
There's also another way, Jon Tan, to interpret this question. It's more of whether we should sell our experience, our emotional branding of being in a club. We feel it's a very accepting place, a very loving place, versus actually selling it functionally. Now, you recommended to use emotional branding, but how are you supposed to? Could you give an example in Toastmasters where you can use emotional branding to sell the Toastmasters experience to about an audience of 200 people, rather than just saying we do communication and leadership improvement?
Which is why I say we can do macro, which is mass. If we go online, is mass. Am I not right?
Yes.
Yes.
But do we realize when we go on Facebook, it is also micro, direct marketing, personal selling? Are we aware of that? Because I haven't seen, unless they're celebrating some big sale or big event, 10 people at the Facebook page reading something. Am I not right? It is always one-on-one, isn't it? Go deep. How can we impact you? Use testimonial, as you mentioned just now. Yeah. One of my testimonials is John 2000. While I was a corporate presenter, I was new in stage speaking. I was a nervous speaker. Then I became a confident speaker. Then I become an international level speaker. Real experience. From vulnerability to confident to supremely confident. Not necessarily supremely confident. How I overcome my pain point and now I become a better person, right? Use that approach. That is emotional branding.
Thank you, Jon Tan. We understand that testimonials are a way we can definitely sell emotional branding. We also have another question from very, very early on in your talk about where you said that the brand must be carried from the bottom up, from the janitor to the top. Now, how do these lower level staff play a role in branding overall, and how can we motivate them to carry the brand?
Now, I'm not publicizing Disney. This is one of the examples used in branding a lot. If you go visit Disneyland, I'm not promoting Disneyland because they really stand out for holistic branding, top down, bottom up. Someone asked, Where could I get ice cream? And the person sweeping the road beautifully, elegantly describe to the visitor how they can get the ice cream. That's what we mean. It's the responsibility of everyone to uphold the brand. Remembering Disney stands for what? Family togetherness. That is the essence. Since you wanna ask a question, this is for your benefit. Essence is, to give an example, Martin Luther King, are we familiar with? He stood for equality, no matter what race, color, or creed. Yeah.
Right.
Mahatma Gandhi. Yeah. Peace without violence. PEACE, not PISS. Peace without violence. Yeah. If you have not watched the movie, directed, I believe, David Attenborough, the army coming from, and Mahatma Gandhi stood, we must not use violence. You and I can have that essence. For me, is freedom. You and I can have. But do we take the time to identify your essence? What happens if that essence is taken away from you? I will not exist. You take away my freedom for expression. You take away my freedom to be who I be. Thank God I have parents allow me to be who I be, right? I will not exist. Each of us got an essence, all right? Next.
The next question is, could you give examples of how some corporate brands demonstrate the 3Cs? What have they done and how they do it? I think a very interesting way maybe you can approach it is, how did Toastmasters become such an effective brand using these 3Cs to grow, to be basically have no major competitors?
Yeah. Thanks to the whole community worldwide. Yeah. Because if the whole community worldwide do not fall in love, is another way of saying conviction, the TI brand won't work. Isn't it? And TI brand keeps in touch with the people all around the world. Do you get email from TI asking for feedback? We do, right?
We do.
Yes.
Or you don't open your email. Email may be like, wow, so outdated, huh? But everybody opens their email. And email is an example of emotional branding. Talk directly. Of course, TI, if I may say, could take one step further. Instead of blasting the feedback, talk to me personally. Connect with me emotionally. Yeah, that will be fantastic. So even to talk to your members, renewal time. Do you get a notice? John, are you renewing? That's functional.
I see.
John, may I know you haven't renewed? Can I help you? Would they like to open up to me? That's emotional branding.
So what I can understand is you're saying that to do this branding, and how they do it is through connecting with the audience, a two-way thing, and that's how it works.
Yes, exactly.
We also have a question where you mentioned to under-promise and over-deliver in your branding. Now, how can you face competitors that are over-promising to get clients? How do you break into that kind of market?
You see, there is a popular saying in the advertising world, right? You can fool people only once or twice, but not forever. You can fool people only once or twice, but not forever. All right?
Well, we have also one last question from the chat box earlier. How do you be outstanding in a meeting? I think this is referring to the time where you said to be likable, to be outstanding and relatable. So let's say you are a new member in an office meeting, or you're in a Toastmasters club. So how can you be outstanding in that context when you're listening to a speech?
Now, I will answer that twofold. First of all club members should be outstanding in their own way. We are born to be unique, which means differentiated, right? I'm known as the person with the red tie and red spectacles as well when it's in the real world. Everybody knows me like that. I'm outstanding. Thanks to my skinhead as well. But there are many skinheads out there. So I have my mustache, this way, right? It's very tedious to upkeep this, to shave it off is easier. You know where I'm coming from? Yeah, you've got to be outstanding. Then you make speeches that are authentic, real, emotional. Many people dare not express the emotions in public speeches. Do you notice? I notice. This could be generalization. I went through DTM possibly 4 to 5 times because I did few hundred speeches being authentic. My first year people already like me because this guy is authentic. He has failed, he has struggled, he has succeeded. Tell stories like that. Do you notice some Toastmasters never expose anything about their personal life? Have you noticed that? Are you one of them? Be vulnerable. Yeah, be vulnerable. The world likes people who are vulnerable, but not vulnerable in self-pity. Vulnerable, take action through mentoring, which is a cornerstone of Toastmasters International. And I gone through the struggle and I achieve. Right?
Thank you so much, Mr. Jon Tan, distinguished Toastmaster Jon Tan. Well, normally in the morning, I need to drink coffee to be stimulated, but I think the way you answer these questions is stimulating enough.
Right.
I just wonder if you don't mind asking one more or some from we just got from the chat box, which is what brand strategies can we apply in our club to enhance the presence? I think it's a very applied question of what we can do immediately to us to implement to enhance the presence of our club.
Simple. Never forget, we must always reflect the TI brand. Never forget. And secondly, what would be the brand that you have? Yeah, I'm sure you beautiful people from other districts will experience a certain District 102 brand image about us. We're holding steadfastly to the TI brand. Yeah, we're doing some things differently. Right? Comes back to the 3 key phrases. While holding to the key brand personality, values, voice of tone of the TI, we must do that. Secondly, how can our club be different? How can we be relevant to new Toastmasters, to public who haven't joined Toastmasters? Do we sit next to them and ask, how can I help you to transform your life? Do we do that? I've been to a club meeting where this woman was sitting there. It's supposed to be a strong club, I asked the person, I always ask them, have you done your first speech? I said no. How long you been a member? 6 months. Oh my God, 6 months. You're very glad the person is renewing membership. No one is looking into her interest. Emotional bonding. That's important. Yeah. And to answer that, I add another dimension. Yeah. Sometimes I get invited to be a GE. I'm a very authentic GE. I would say the strongest medicine with sugar-coated words, right? And people like me for that because they can learn and grow. Right? How to quote your words, be socially correct. There are some clubs who say that. We don't like to invite GEs from other clubs because we have our own culture. Oh my gosh, you're not supposed to have your own culture. You're supposed to have the TI culture, and that's why GE are there for, to comment on the TI culture. Along the way, we will comment, hey, you are steadfastly holding to TI culture, how you do things, how you manage a meeting, the prepared speech, impromptu speech, etc., etc., role plays, etc. Apart from that, you have a new dimension of your own club culture. I hope that makes a lot of sense to people, huh? Right?
All right, distinguished Toastmaster Jon Tan, we're out of time, but I just want to let you know that I believe all of us can see how much love and care you have for branding and for Toastmasters. We've learned so much, and I would like to pass the control back the man himself, the one who cares, Jon Tan. Back to you.
You're passing back to me, right?
For your closing.
Yeah. I pray that you got what I have planned to do for you. Yeah. This is actually a 2 to 3 hours workshop for corporate clients. Yeah. If you got it within 1 hour, congratulations to you. I look forward to you being a great Toastmaster. Why? To impact the world, empower the world, and be a better person. I paraphrase from the brand manual. All right. I shall pass control back to our beautiful TMD, Eunice.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Jon Tan, for his valuable insights. And also thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Nessan, for conducting the question and answer session. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the time to move on to the certificate presentation session. It is my pleasure to invite all the District 1 or 2 senior district officers to switch on their video. They are District Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Srinivas, Program Quality Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Teo Chun Min, District Administration Manager, Effective Coaching Level 5, Fatima Afia, District Public Relations Manager, Presentation Mastery Level 5, Rashmi Raghav, Immediate Past District Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Lee Menzi, and also the Organizing Chair, Innovative Planning Level 4, Timothy Tan, Session Organizing Chair, Leadership Development Level 1, Joanne Lim, to present the Certificate of Appreciation to our speaker, Distinguished Toastmaster Jon Tan. Sergeant Arms, can you please help to take the photo?
All right. Take the photo. 1, 2, 3, smile. All right, let me QC check. Okay, thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster Eunice.
Thanks, Matt. Timothy Tan and Joanne Lim, please stay on the screen. And next, we will move on to appreciate my team, those hardworking role players. As we will present the certificate of appreciation to our role players, they are Zoom Master, Toastmaster Teh Hui Teng, Question Master, Distinguished Toastmaster Nesan Ananda Raja, Timer, Toastmaster Yamuna Annie Manogaran, Sergeant Arms, Strategist Relationship Level 3, Max Law Yong Kan, and also myself, Toastmaster of the Day, Engaging Humor Level 5, Eunice Law. Sergeant Arms, please help to take the photo.
All right. Neshan, could you? Okay, let me spotlight Neshan. All right, on my count, 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, thank you. Back to you, Eunice.
Thank you, Max. Thank you, my fantastic team. Next, we will move on to the appreciation for session organizing chair. I would like to invite organizing chair, Innovative Planning Level 4, Timothy Tan, to present the certificate of appreciation to session organizing chair, Leadership Development Level 1, Joanne Lim. Max, are you ready to take a photo?
On my count, 1, 2, 3, smile. All right, back to you, Toastmaster Eunice.
Thank you, Max. Now, I would like to invite Session Organizing Chair, Leadership Development Level 1, Joanne Lim, to deliver her closing address. Over to you, Joanne.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Engaging Humor Level 5, Eunice Low. Ladies and gentlemen, after sharing by distinguished Toastmaster Jon Tan today, let us all embrace the 3C, clarity, conviction, and constancy towards brand success. Let us all keep in mind the 3 magical lines. What are those? Could anyone of you unmute and tell me what are the 3 magical lines?
Likeable.
Be
Yes.
uniquely outstanding.
Yes,
Be relevant.
Yeah.
exactly.
And be likable.
We have a perfect group of audience to begin the PR Fest today with. Be outstanding, be relevant, and be likable. Thank you everyone for your active participation and enthusiasm. I'd like to extend my gratitude for distinguished Toastmaster Jon Tan for his valuable sharing. Special thanks to District 102 Public Relation Manager Rashmi and Organizing Chair Timothy Tan for their outstanding support throughout the planning of this session. I'd also like to thank my team of role players, Toastmaster of the Day Eunice, Zoom Master Hui Ting, Question Master Nashan, Timer Annie, as well as our Sergeant at Arms, Max, for your tremendous effort in making this session a successful one. We can't do it without all of you. Not forgetting every single one of you from all over the globe who join us in this beautiful morning or afternoon or evening, depending on the time zone you're in. We have the best crowd to begin the PR Fest with. Dear all, I would like to give you a reminder for our upcoming session. It will be graphic design with Canva by distinguished Toastmaster Cajetan Burrito. There will be a poster designing competition and you will have the opportunity to get your poster featured. So now grab your coffee, freshen up and come back at 1 p.m. Malaysia time. Stay tuned for an engaging session with Cajetan Burrito. Ladies and gentlemen, we value your feedback. Please provide your feedback by scanning this QR code that will be shown on the screen shortly. We will also put out the feedback form link in the chat box. I'm going to leave this screen on for a while. The QR screen code, please, Zoom Master. So take your time in scanning and provide us your valuable feedback. Thank you everyone for joining us today. I'll see you later at 1 p.m. Bye-bye.